Bienvenidos a la República Dominicana. We are here at the Limon waterfall with a beautiful morning practice to bring you sunlight and new life and energy into your day. This is necessary you time, and by setting aside these next 15 minutes, you are filling your cup first so that you can step off of your mat and walk into your day, ready to give of yourself to others and meet every challenge and responsibility with courage and peace. If you're ready to get started, let's meet at the waterfall. Let's start at the back of the mat, sitting onto the heels, releasing the hands forward, finding child's pose. The forehead is reaching softly toward the mat. Taking a deep breath in. And exhale, let's come up to all fours, tuck your toes. Let's do our cat-cow. So rounding the back as we look down, arching the back as we look up. Bringing movement into the spine, beginning to wake up the body. And now let's make circles with the spine. Rolling the head to the left, dropping the belly, looking down, arching the back. Just bring as much movement as you can into your spine. Making big circles, rounding and arching the back. And then coming back to center. The toes are still tucked. Let's walk the hands back toward the knees, sitting down onto the heels. We're going to bring movement into the ankle joints now. So with the toes tucked, we're getting a nice stretch in the feet. Let's try to lift the knees up and come back balancing onto the toes. You can keep your hands down on the mat or lift them up, working on the balance, really getting into those feet and the ankles now. Rocking back and forth. And then let's come up to our toe stand. Arms are reaching forward, release the knees, and come back. So again, doing the same movement. If this is too challenging, keep your hands on the mat. Deep inhale. Let's sit in our toe pose, holding here. Breathing, focusing. And don't worry if you lose your balance. Just come back to the toe stand and then release the knees down to the mat. Let's bring the chest close onto the knees, lifting the hips slightly. Maybe walk the hands out a bit further and come forward into plank. Let's sit back and forward to plank. So we're beginning to wake up the core now, as well as the arms and the shoulders. Hold in plank. And then release back into downward facing dog, our first one of the practice. Maybe walk your feet, bending the knees one at a time, bringing some love into those hamstrings, maybe dropping the same shoulder as the knee that's bending. And then let's walk the feet forward to the hands, finding forward fold. Remembering to bend into the knees if your hamstrings are too tight this morning. That's completely normal. You haven't warmed them up yet. Let's walk out the knees again in our forward fold this time, bending one knee at a time. Continuing to wake up the hamstrings. Let's bend that left knee. Reach the right arm up to the sky as your left hand is on the mat. And then switching opposite sides, right knee bends, left arm up. And switching back, opening to the right, and opening to the left. And back to center. Let's bend the knees now. Chest is on top of the thighs, grabbing the elbows. Maybe rocking side to side or bobbing the head up and down. Do what feels really nice for you in this pose. And then release the elbows and slowly roll up to standing, coming into mountain pose, reaching the hands up and bringing them down to the heart, finding a moment of peace, of grounding, remembering why you're here, why you came to this practice, and maybe set an intention for your day. Let's release the arms up to the sky once again, slight back bend, and releasing forward into forward fold. Let's lift halfway and bend again into forward fold, bending from the hips. Let's slightly bend both knees, step that right foot back into a low lunge, and push the hands into the mat, step that front foot back into plank, chaturanga down, upward facing dog, and lift the hips back into downward facing dog. Great job. Taking a deep connective breath here, and lift the right leg, step it between the hands, left knee is down to the mat in low lunge, and then step that back foot forward into forward fold. Bend the knees and roll up to Tadasana, hands come to heart. Inhale as we reach up to the sky, slight back bend, and bend the elbows and knees and fold forward. Lift up halfway. Bend both knees and step the left leg back this time. Knee to the mat in low lunge. Press your hands into the mat, step that right foot back into plank, and flow it out, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Remembering to breathe with every movement, every pose, every transition. Always remembering to breathe. Let's lift that left leg again, step it forward between the hands, low lunge. And lift the back knee and step the foot forward into forward fold. Slowly roll up to Tadasana, hands reach up and come to heart. Finding a beautiful balance between both of your feet. Pressing into the mat, feeling solid, feeling grounded. Let's reach the hands up to the sky yet again, and sitting down into chair pose. Let's bring the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. You can open your arms or just stay in a twisted chair. Back to center. Same thing on the other side, right elbow to the left knee. Opening the arms if you'd like to. And coming back to center. Reach up to the sky, Tadasana, and hands come down to heart. Beautiful. Let's take another deep inhale, filling up the lungs. And exhale, reach the hands up to the sky, fold forward. Let's bend the knees and reach that right foot back all the way to the back of the mat. Hands reach up to the sky as we bend into the left knee. And then pivoting toward the right side of the mat, opening into Warrior Two. Shoulders are releasing down away from the ears, trying to keep your arms level. Let's open that front palm and reach it up and over, finding our peaceful warrior. And then bringing that left elbow onto the left knee, extended side angle. You can also release the left hand down to the mat if you'd like a deeper stretch. Then let's straighten that left leg. Open the arms into triangle pose. Your back foot is at a 45-degree angle. Opening that right hip up to the sky. Then let's bring the right hand down to the mat and open that left hand up to the sky. Reverse triangle. Hold and breathe. And then bend into the left knee as you bring the arms up to the sky, high lunge. Hips are squared off to the front of the mat. And then bending both knees slightly, shift your weight forward into Warrior Three, reaching the hands back behind you, and bend that back knee, lift it up, and step the foot into Tadasana. Hands come to heart. Let's keep moving. Let's reach the hands up to the sky and fold forward. Reach that left foot back into high lunge. Hands reach up to the sky, bending into the right knee. And opening, pivoting toward the left side, warrior two. Open that front palm and reach up and over as your backhand rests gently on your back leg. And coming forward to extended side angle, right elbow on the right knee. Left arm reaches up and over. Again, bringing the right hand down to the mat if you'd like. Then let's open to Trikonasana. Triangle pose, arms are in a T, right leg is extended, left hip is opening up towards the sky. Breathe into the pose. Then left hand comes down to the mat, hips are squared toward the front as we open to the right side and the right arm reaches up. Reverse triangle. Now let's bend into that right knee again, cartwheel the arms up into high lunge. And slightly bending both knees, shift your weight forward onto that right leg, warrior three. Left leg and the arms are reaching back and bending the knee and stepping the foot forward into Tadasana. Wonderful job. Notice how your body is feeling now. Notice where your mind is at. Just noticing every sensation in your body. Let's reach up again to the sky. Sitting down to chair pose, feet are together, and let's sit slowly down to the mat. Lift the feet coming into boat pose, Shavasana, activating our hip flexors and our core. Then bring the soles of the feet together, open the knees wide, sitting up tall in our Trikonasana, our butterfly pose. And then folding forward gently, feeling the opening in your hips. Let's go a bit deeper into those hips. Let's make some torso circles here. So rounding the back as you come back, arching the back as you come forward. Going to the other side now, moving with your breath. Inhale, exhale. Coming back to butterfly, sitting up straight. Taking another deep breath in and exhale. Release it all out. Releasing any tension that you may be feeling. Allowing your mind to relax. You can stay here in this pose, or you can take your peace fingers and grab onto your big toes. We're going to lift the feet off of the mat, keeping the knees bent and balancing just on our bum or straightening the legs out. Keeping the back straight, lifting the chest toward the sky, toward the toes. And bend the knees and either hold on to the toes as you release the back to the mat, or maybe release them first and then roll onto the back. We're going to find our happy baby pose. So still grabbing onto the big toes, or grab onto the outside of the feet and open the knees, open the hips. Bring those knees toward the armpits and just allow yourself to relax, to let go, and to be present in this moment. Let's release the feet up to the sky, straighten the legs, maybe massaging the backs of the legs, working out any kind of tension. Just keep them straight, heels pointing toward the sky. And if your flexibility allows, maybe grab onto those big toes again, keeping the legs straight this time, or slightly bend them. Make this pose serve you. Make it feel good on your body. And let's bend the knees into the chest, giving yourself a hug, hugging the legs into the chest, rocking side to side. And let's circle the knees out, around, and in, bringing more circulation into the hip joint and going the opposite direction. And then releasing the soles of the feet together, bringing them to the mat as your knees gently fall open. Your hands can rest at your sides, palms open, finding our reclined bound angle pose, Supta Baddha Konasana. You can stay here for a continued stretch into your hips, or now relax into Shavasana, extending the legs and relaxing every part of your body. Shavasana is so important at the end of our practice because it helps us to really sink in to those postures that we just did, the benefits that we feel from them. It allows us to absorb all of the goodness that we just experienced. Take a deep breath in and release it all out. On your next inhale, let's stretch the arms above, bring the knees into the chest, and roll onto your side or just roll up to seated. Sitting cross-legged or maybe in butterfly again, let's reach up to the sky and release the left hand to the mat, reaching up and over with the right arm, breathing into the side body, and back to center, going to the opposite side now, breathing into the left side body, and back to center. Hands come down to heart. Take a breath in and exhale. Let's rotate to the left side. Left hand comes behind your back, maybe the right hand on the knee, reaching the crown of the head to the sky, and then twisting to the opposite side, right hand behind the back, left hand on the right knee, keeping the spine long. Inhale and exhale, coming forward. Let's reach the arms up to the sky once more and bring them down to heart. Thanking yourself for taking time out of your busy schedule to do something good for your mind and for your body today. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste. If you enjoyed flowing with me here at this beautiful waterfall in Dominican Republic, please like this video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see more like this. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you again soon.